Hello, and welcome to Starting Points, where one thing leads to another. Nonfiction, fiction. Both are fascinating. This is a beautifully told story. The Calf of the November Cloud. I read it to a grade 4 or 5 class. It is, and they found it very moving. Hilary Rubin, 128 pages, and it says calf, shows a cow in the front, and termite hills and giraffes and other animals of Africa, and it deals with some of the legends. It deals with justice. It's just a wonderful, wonderful book. Hilary Rubin. This book is by a man who's wrote many things about Africa. He was a Frenchman, René Gillot, Guillot, best that I can do with a translation. And this book, there's justice in it too. It's a story of a boy from French culture in Western Africa, different than the Savannah area, and well, it's just it carries memories, because ironically we had my school I taught at invited a man to come to the school and put on an all-week workshop. Every class got to see him every day, and he made his own marimbas in the traditional African way. He was African, danced with an African troupe of dancers, and he was doing these workshops, and we were lucky enough to get him to come to our school. And because this story took place in the same place where he had grown up, the last day I gave him a copy of this book. I've got a couple of other copies as well, just because it's such a wonderful, wonderful book. And so, did I give you the name yet? Master of the Elephants. Those both could be read by probably 10, 11, 12-year-olds on their own. This next book is for adults, or 17, 18-year-olds. Chad Hanna, Hanna, is the title of the book, and it's the central character in the book, by Walter D. Edmonds. He wrote many wonderful, wonderful books, and I'll be, over the course of these videos, sharing a few of them with you. One about the barn, when we get to looking at barns. Drums Along the Mohawk is probably his most famous book, but they don't show that he did the Senecans as well. Walter D. Edmonds, it's an old-timer, 1940. Okay. Here's another old-timer that's been around. Phil Stong is the author, and he wrote, again, a number of books. It's one of those things, starting points. I read one of his books and I said, oh man, I really like this guy's writing. I'll see what else he wrote. And then I read that, and then that leads to that. And so starting point, and same for René Gillot. Same for Walter D. Inbins, and certainly the same for Phil Stong. Traveling, something for an event. I think there's The Elephant is in White Plains, helping celebrate the glorious 4th, can be seen in parade and on exhibition. So it's that period of time, earlier period of time. Now I'm going to switch to England just for a second for another somewhat comic tale that was in somewhat comic here, though there is a trowel in this. It's Rosie is My Relative by Gerald Durrell. Now I hope to be sharing a whole video on books about Gerald Durrell's adventures in various countries with different animals. And of course his famous books about growing up in Corfu, My Family and Other Animals, and those sequels, especially when we look at foods. But this is sort of a one-off comic tale, as most all his writing is. So I think you'd enjoy this. Rosie is My Relative. Gerald Durrell, D-U-R-R-E-L-L. Now, we're back. Phil Stong. Oh, you liked that first one, eh? No, we're back. The Hard Man's Elephant. And this was very heartwarming, lovely, just a warm story. And a time that's gone by, 1939. So check him out. They made movies out of some of his things. Now this is a little more modern. At 2010 this story was written, but the story takes place back in time. It's about a journey, the elephant's journey from Portugal through Spain, France, Italy, all the way to Vienna. So talk about a journey, a walking journey for the elephant. This is by Jose Saramago. Saramago? I don't know exactly how to pronounce his name. He's a winner of the Nobel Prize for Literature, for whatever that might indicate. Translated from the Portuguese by Margaret Costa. And I thought, how wonderful. So often when books are translated, they don't always even give the translator's name. But here it's made it to the front cover. It's also on the title page. And quite a relationship between man and elephant, like all of these stories, really. And so that's for adults. And this one maybe is more for adults. I think certainly high schools, people could read and enjoy this. Mark Twain, they make that pretty clear. And the illustrator is given some space on it. After all, he did this painting. Robert Ingpen. He's Australian, and anything that he illustrates is just amazing. If I see his name on a book, I know that it's going to be fascinating, not only his illustration, but worthy of reading. So that book. Now, these are all almost for older people, so it's nice to have another one of those traveling circus kinds of books that younger people, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and adults can enjoy. Bill Pete's Ella. And there's a bit of justice in this book as well. So thanks for joining me. Until next time, when I was a surprise for you. Now, I've shown you these books in a sense because maybe they will work as starting points, that you'd read that and say, oh, I want to find something else by that person. And who knows where that will take you. And some of them may be new to you, some may be ones you're familiar. I've got about 60 books on elephants. It's a theme, something that I really enjoyed at different settings and different. So I just pulled these off, thinking maybe one will spark an interest. So bye for now.